And it's
okay. I'm a little slow on the uptake. Let's see where. Okay, can you see my screen?
yes.
Okay, yeah, this changed last year, I think around September, or October. In 2021, Inspire paired with Access Indiana to use a single sign-on option of Access Indiana, which allows remote access for residents of the state. The service that the Indiana State Library had previously used was no longer being updated, and it wasn't fully integrated with the EBSCO products that were accessible through Inspire. So Access Indiana is fully integrated with EBSCO, and Inspire will still use the GEO IP authentication and the IP authentication with libraries, schools, and universities. So just to let you know, when you're in a search, the sign in button is part of the Inspire search interface that I have there by the red arrow. And that allows users to create an account with EBSCO through Access Indiana. EBSCO is a vendor that we use to power Inspire. So when you create an account there, you can save searches and results and share those with others. Actually, when you get create an account through Access Indiana, that's when you can do that. So Access Indiana is a single sign-on to access multiple Indiana services. It was created to make it easier for Hoosiers to do business within the state, and in order to deliver great government service, a single sign-on, one log-on, and one password, it gets individuals into multiple systems, and I'll show you that in a few slides. So once a resident of Indiana creates that account, they can utilize the same username and password to access any of the services listed under the Available Services tab, and that will make more sense when we go to that page. But also keep in mind, you don't have to sign in to search Inspire. And you do have the option to have a username and password to be able to save articles, photos, ebooks, etc. And previously, as I said, this was done through Inspire, Indiana, and EBSCO. So now the users will need to obtain the Access Indiana account to save the articles on Inspire, and I will take you through that process. And here's a basic infographic to help see how it all works together. So Inspire is made up of about, I think it might be about 80 databases. Some can be searched together in one comprehensive search. The majority of the databases are curated by EBSCO, and others are maintained by separate companies or by the Indiana State Library. So we've got Indiana Memory, Hoosier State Chronicles, newspapers.com, Teaching Books, Rosetta Stone, and Learning Express. Those are a little separate from the EBSCO. So they do, some of them, and definitely work independently of EBSCO and require a separate login. Well, a separate login if you want to save information. It's under the Others, the yellow Others tab. So that helped explain that. And there is a list of the services that Access Indiana has besides Inspire. And I did check it from, I think when I put this together in November, they've already added a few. So I added that to my list here. But you can see Inspire is one of many. Some that are definitely of interest for librarians. You can order a birth and a death certificate here, because I'm sure you have many patrons that asked for that kind of information. There's things on campground reservations, travel advisories, fish and wildlife, all kinds of things. So if you haven't saved articles, photos, or ebooks to Inspire, then you can just go directly to our Inspire page, or no, sorry, you can go directly to the www.in.gov/access to sign up for the account in Access Indiana, and it's in the red box on my screen. So you just also sign up for your account button to get started. So, and if you have previously saved articles to Inspire, you will need to merge your new Access Indiana account with your previous EBSCO Inspire account, and I will go through that as well. So let's go through the steps. So this is for if you do not already have an EBSCO Inspire account. So I'm going to go directly over to how you start with Access Indiana. So you just follow the steps. It'll look very familiar to other things that you sign up for. So you add your email to create your Access Indiana account, and then it will send you a verification code. So you sign in, you just put in your a password that you want to create, and it shows the password requirements listed on the right. Next, oops, sorry, I went one too fast. Sign up for a profile with your name and an organization if applicable. I can't remember, I think I put the Indiana State Library. I don't, if you're a library, you put your own library. And if you're a patron, I guess just put personal possibly account. And you'll have the option to sign in also with the two-step verification to keep it more safe. So if you answered yes, it'll have you choose to receive a text or a voicemail or have it sent to your email address. And you can also sign up for a recovery email. Lastly, on your Access Indiana dashboard, you can change all this information. You can change your profile, email address, your recovery email, your account security, and your password. You can also check for notifications. You can bookmark the services that you wish to bookmark and also sign in to recently used services. So this is if you previously had an Inspire EBSCO account and how to merge those accounts. That happened to me when I was doing a presentation at one of my libraries in October that I didn't realize the change happened. So I couldn't show the library staff how to get to my articles that I had saved previously. So after I went through this, I did get my articles back. So just go to the Inspire page, the www.inspire.in.gov, and type in a search in the EBSCO Discovery search box, because that will then get you to the next page you need to be on. So what you'll do is click on Sign On. So if you previously had saved articles, images, folders, etc. in your EBSCO folder, they won't be visible. So when you click on Folder, this screen will then come up. So this is your site. So this is again this is if you're going to try to get your account merged, your Inspire account, and get into the new or the Access Indiana. So it'll send you to now set up an Access Indiana account. So type in a different email that what you previously had used to sign into your folder in EBSCO. And maybe if you don't remember what that was, you could just maybe sign up for a new free Gmail or Hotmail, maybe sign in for a new account. So this screen will come up. Click yes or no to proceed. I happen to say yes, and this is about, if you consent to the collection of personalized data. And then I think Kara said no. Either way, it lets you go on to the next step. So what you're now going to do is merge your new Access Indiana account and your old EBSCO account. So go back to inspire.in.gov and type in a search in the Discovery search box. Now it will look different. When you go back to Inspire, you'll see this screen and it says, you just click on the Update My Account button. Then this screen will come up and click Get Started there at the bottom to merge the accounts. Now we did find one stopper at least, and I think Kara had an ebook that was checked out on her EBSCO account, and it didn't let her continue signing up and getting her accounts merged. It's up to you,
Yes.
Kara, if you want to talk about that now.
Well, yes, that's true. And I did have to contact EBSCO support to get that fixed. And then I forget exactly what they did to fix it, but after that it worked, whatever they did. I think they might have sent a new link to me, and then I had to go through that again.
Okay. And if you don't know what the EBSCO support is, if you have to get to the Inspire help desk, they'll definitely give you that email. It's also listed probably in our FAQs. If you're in Inspire, there's if you see a little question mark by the Discovery search where you put in what you're looking for, if you click that, the little question mark on the right side, it should get you to the EBSCO, and you could search and find their email. So there's all kinds of ways, or contact us, that would be fine too. So I'll go on to the next section. So now it asks you to click on the sign into your second account. So that's getting you back to your old EBSCO account. Click sign in. Sorry, these these two screens are a little bit small. I didn't get good screenshots. Click on continue with merge. And then the new Access Indiana account will be your current account, and the secondary account, the old EBSCO account, will merge, and the secondary account will go away. So the articles, images, folders, etc. that you had previously saved will move to the current account. So just click on merge account, and a pop-up will come up making sure that you want to continue with the merge. Click continue, and you are done. So click on go to my account. For some reason, I can't remember exactly what the next screen looked like, but it took me back to Inspire, or maybe I had to go back to Inspire myself. So back to Inspire again. I'm going to click in the discovery search, just put in a search term, click on sign in. Your email might auto-populate, or either select or type in your email and hit click continue. It will get back to Inspire. And your items that you previously had saved in your old EBSCO account will be in your new folder, or in your folder. Also, you can see I had previously had articles saved, and I also had other folders that I had set up on Inspire. So all that information was there. So finally, and then I went a step further. I just wanted to test it. I downloaded two ebooks on the EBSCO app that's on my smartphone, and it did show up in my checkouts. I actually just did that yesterday. So your checkouts will be what's like your ebooks, that, and they don't show up on the, I don't think they show up on in your folder, but interesting to see that. Okay, so at this point, questions, and I can also just hop over to Inspire and just briefly show you what it looks like. So if I click on Inspire, I'm going to do that same thing, type in a search. I'm going to sign in. So it already has my email saved in there. Continue. It's going to redirect me. So now there's my folder. So my articles are in here. Ebooks, I think I have maybe clicked on just to save to look at again. And then down at the bottom is where I had customized things. I put like things under different folders. So that is basically it. I also always want to say that it works like this today. Who knows if something will get tweaked and changed. It may not exactly work the same way, but also on Inspire, let me go back to the FAQs. It does give you more information about Access Indiana, how to get there, and also follow other instructions. I think those are from EBSCO. Okay, hopefully that helped.
Does anybody have any questions for Paula? This is being recorded, so if you need to go back through it, or if you want to share it with other staff, you know, I will post it when it's transcribed. So that might help too, to just walk back through it.
All right, well, thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
Okay. Bye. All right, so here we have the Inspire homepage, and when you go into Inspire, there are several access points or several different ways that you can search, and sometimes it depends on what kind of search you're doing, and other times it might depend on you know, the information that you're looking for. So we do have a new splash page, which you can see here, and it's been there for a while now. You know, it has the banners cycling through, etc. I was going to go down here. Okay. And another thing that has happened is we have tried to make some access points for students so that they have different grade level and appropriate content, because that's been a concern for some people. And so EBSCO went in and did where they actually set up different grade levels that allow you to search just for that grade level content. So, if you have a younger student come in for information and you're trying to help the parent or the student, this might be a good place to start, is just to go to Explora. And I am going to click on this just so you guys can see what it looks like. It's very nice. It does have ideas, and it does have subjects that you can start with. Here it's got spring, probably because it is spring now. But this will actually, I'm going to go down to one and just kind of show you what it looks like. Let's do social studies. Let's do ancient China. Okay. Now, I was going to see, a lot of times when EBSCO has done this, and it's very nice, and a lot of their databases, they have this thing whenever you actually start searching and you start getting results, they have included like a topic overview or a subject overview that you can look at and maybe get more ideas of things to search. And this would be more general information, but it would get kids started. And they also have the option to listen down here. So if you have a student that maybe doesn't have the reading skills that they need to read an article like this, you can, have them follow along and listen to the audio. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can scoot this out of the way or minimize it. Hang on. Okay. Let me get that. Sometimes my mouse is weird. Okay. I just wanted to get that out of the way so you could see on the side the different options that students have. They do have a link to Google Classroom, and they do have a link to Google Drive. It allows them to email articles to themselves. And these would probably be school emails, because this is probably where they're actually gonna, start their research is at school, but they may continue that research with you and at your public library. And this way they can just email it to themselves and check it when they're back at school. So it gives you all kinds of different options there, and it shows you how to cite the article. So there's a lot of ways that you can teach digital literacy, just starting with Explora and going through some of the options that they have, helping them get familiar with the database. So let's go back one, and it does have, just so you know, I did want you to see up here, it does have the sign-in feature. So you will have to help them do that initially. And probably, like I said, this might not be you in the public library, it might be the school library that actually has to do that, but it's good for you to know too, so you understand the process and what they need to do to get their information. Okay, let's go back real quick. Okay, so that was Explora. And then if you go ahead and arrow down, you can see that below there, we still have the tiles that highlight different databases. And so we have added book connections for, that's for public libraries from teaching books. And this is the original teaching books that's aimed more at schools. You can access the newspaper database, which actually isn't part of EBSCO. And then EBSCO Learning Express is a very, very good database. It's also divided into subject areas and needs, such as studying for different kinds of exams, you know, practice exams, those kinds of things. I think I actually have a session that I want to do with the person that actually is in charge of Learning Express at EBSCO. They had offered to do a session, so I'm still going to try to get that set up. Okay, so we saw the Explorer, we saw the tiles. This probably looks kind of familiar to you as well. However, it was divided up and changed into different topic headings. One just for research, one for test and career prep. That's so funny, it's coming along. One for Indiana news and history. And so those are actual access points that are new, that have been added. We've always had search by subject and databases A to Z. Search by subject just does what it says basically, but I like to show this because it gives people an idea of the kinds of databases that we have available, and it can be a good starting point for directing people as far as where they want to start. You know, if someone comes in and they're wanting career information, you can go to the search by subjects, and then you get into your you know, lists that have been made and that have specific databases that are aimed at people with wanting career information. Business, you may have people that come in and want information about how to do a business plan. That would be found in the Small Business Reference Center. Regional business news actually, you know, would include information about Indianapolis. And I think, yeah, the census.gov is included there too. And it's under several different categories because it applies to several different categories. Okay, so as you can see, there are a myriad amount of ways and databases to search and inspire. And I'm going to go back up to the top because I do want to talk about this one. And I do want to say that I also understand that sometimes Inspire can be frustrating because it's so overwhelming. So on the one hand, it's fabulous that we have access to all these databases. And on the other hand, it's a little bit frustrating because it's so big. It has so many databases. I think Paula said close to 80. So sometimes that can be a little bit intimidating. You know, I mean, it was kind of intimidating for me whenever I started trying to learn more about Inspire. There's just so much there. All right, so I like to do this too. If you know exactly which database you want, you can actually go to this databases A to Z, and that will help you. You can just look for it in the list. And I don't think we have, well, we probably do, but you know, like for example, if you want to look at the ebooks, you know, you can just come here to the list. It's an alphabetical list. It does divide them into K through 8, high school and public library collection. And there are more being added all the time. All right, so as you can see, we have the list. The other thing I like about this is if you don't really know what the database includes, you can come to the A to Z list and look at this to get a description of the database and what it would be for. You know, for example, film and television literature index with full text. You know, I don't know what you would find in there, but you know, this is where it gives you a description. You know, it's a resource for researchers of film and television. So probably more, you know, academic, college type information for people wanting to go into that field. So there's that. Okay, how are we doing on time? Okay, so there's the the actual databases by subject, databases A to Z, and these other categories that they've pulled out. So let's go ahead and do a search right now. I'm just going to do Harry Potter because that's one I've done before. So before I go into this, though, I do want to say here's another access point. This is another way you can search Inspire. If you don't want to go through the, subjects or the list or whatever, you can just type in whatever you want to search right here, because EBSCO has what's called Discovery Service, and EBSCO Discovery Service means that you can search all the databases except a few at once. So if I type Harry Potter in, it's going to go through all the databases and try to find information related to that. And another aside, if we have time, we might come back to this. You can also narrow your search, and I'm going to show you a few ways you can do that. So let's do a search, see what we get. Okay, here's the research starter that I was telling you about. I think it was called something else in that other database, but this is a good place for kids to start, or even adults. I mean, you can come here and get some background information that would help you maybe go deeper in research or find more information, or just give you ideas of things that you hadn't thought of. So let's look though right here. As you can see, it's massive. we just putting in Harry Potter, we get 523,431 articles, images, etc. So you can do a few things here. Another thing before I do this, another thing that I think is hard with Inspire is how cluttered it looks when you get to here. It's like, okay, where do I look? So one thing you can do, and this helps me focus, is you can click on this, and that all that stuff on the left goes away. You can click on this one, and all the stuff on the right goes away. And then to me, it's just easier because it's a cleaner screen. And I guess I just work better that way. I don't know. It's just hard to focus when there's all that information. However, there are times you will want to use those. Let's go back over here and get it back. And here's where you can refine results. So we had 523,431. So let's go down here and see what we can do. You can actually expand your search. You can search within full text, and you can also do equivalent subjects. So that would show up anything that was related to Harry Potter. Since these are expanders and it's supposed to get you more information, I am actually going to, oh, maybe it won't let me. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, good. Okay, so what I did was I just closed out of all those expanders because I really didn't want that much information. And so this brings us back to 135,000, a little over 135,000 articles. That is not, really searchable, but it's better. It's better than what we had. So here you can do limiters, and limiters actually only search for these things. So full text, if you only want full text articles and you don't want like an abstract, you definitely want to click full text. And here you can actually change the publication date. So I'm gonna make it like that. So I'm going to make it narrower. Okay, that brought it down a little bit, not quite as much as I thought it might, but you can narrow it down by doing even closer years or closer subjects. Here's another thing you can do. If you only want news articles related to Harry Potter, If you only want magazines, trade publications, reviews, academic journals, and more, hang on, there's all these ways that you can limit it, your search. So let's say all I want to do is I want to see what ebooks they have related to Harry Potter. Okay, so now we are down to 47 results. And that's a lot easier to manage. And you know exactly what kind of content you're going to get. So let's do, I'm not going to do a full download of this book, but let me show you what it would look like in full text, PDF full text. Okay, so this is actually Critical Insights, the Harry Potter series. So books about Harry Potter. But this is actually like almost having the book right in front of you. And we're so used to now having access to all these things on computers and on our devices that, you know, a lot of people like this where they can just get it on the computer, but it kind of looks exactly like it would look if you had it in your hands. Let me go, I'm going to go back down a little bit to make sure there wasn't something. Okay. Well, there are more filters for your subjects. So you can also filter by topics. And what I think is good about this is it actually already has the topics there. So you can pick from the topics that they're giving you. I don't know what cocktails is. I guess maybe recipes for cocktails they add in Harry Potter. I don't know. But you can see that there are a lot of different options. And they're options that you don't have to think of. They're already there, you know, so guys kind of guide you to maybe what you want. So these can be really useful whenever you're working with a patron and you're trying to narrow things down. Because if you start out with 535,000 articles, it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. Okay, you can filter by language, and all these are in English. And you can also filter if you only want results from one certain database. So let's just try the newspaper source plus. Oh, actually, it's going to give us more, it looks like. Okay. Yes. So if you do a newspaper source plus search, you actually get more results because that's everything that's in the newspaper's database about Harry Potter. Let's see. All right, let's look real quick. I just wanted to make sure that you saw all the ways you can change your searching. All right, so I'm going to make that go away again. Paula, do we have any questions in chat?
We had a question was which databases are not searchable within the rest of them, and I've said, correct me if I'm wrong, Learning Express, newspapers.com, Rosetta Stone, and Teaching Books, Book Connections used to not be included, but I think they are now.
Yeah.
And anything else I'm missing? Even though like we have a link to the census, I don't think that's included.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. I mean, the only databases I can think of right off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we have any other ones.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. All right, so let's go over here to the right. And this is where you can actually see images related to Harry Potter. Actually, this, I don't really, oh, this is funny. It's looking for Potter's Field in the Indiana Memory Database. So it just picked up on Harry Potter, the Potter part. Okay, so not much there that I want right now. I mean, maybe if I was doing a PowerPoint, I might want to use a image here, but there's not much there I want, so I'm just gonna turn that off. Also, I wanted to show you that it does show if the article is in full text, And if it's HTML, it's going to look different than the PDF. And all of those are HTML. PDF, like I showed you with the book, is actually basically where they've scanned everything and it looks exactly the same. All right. So I wanted to point out the folder over here. And we already talked about the sign in. I have not signed in. So yeah, it's not going to let me do it if I don't sign in. So I just want you to see that when you're searching, if you see something that you want to save, you can, put it in the folder. I'm also looking, I think, oh, I know where it is. Okay, so there's some options there too. The other thing I wanted to point out was language. You can actually have these articles translated into all of the languages listed here. And, with the different kinds of immigrants that we have coming in now, Burmese is a big section here in Indy, Southern Indy. We have Ukrainians that are trying to, claim or get refuge from the war. So you can, let's just make it closer to home. A lot of us serve patrons that maybe only speak Spanish. So we're gonna, I just want to click on this so you can see how that changes. Maybe it didn't change. Yeah, it did. Here we go. Okay, so I just want to show you this. So I'm going to click on the text so I can read the article. Okay, it just has you listen. Paula, have you used that? I thought it translated the actual article.
I think where you clicked is like that was more in the search area. If you click here, I don't know if where it says, I don't even know, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, the IDIOMA, that little,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can, no, oh, sorry, in the middle of the screen. I don't know if this changes it differently.
Here.
Yeah, one more.
Here.
Where the arrow is. Here, the drop down arrow to the left. No,
Nope.
There's it says ID.
Here.
Yeah, see what if that does anything different.
Okay.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it actually works.
Okay.
Let me think. HTML. Should have done an HTML.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out. I think I was expecting the article to be in Spanish. I see all the other things, have changed to Spanish.
Usually that does happen.
Maybe I just picked the wrong. I mean, maybe there's another one.
Maybe try a different article later in maybe in another database.
Okay. Anyway, I don't want to get stuck on that, but I did want to make sure you saw that. All right, so we'll go back to English. And another thing that I want you to see is up here on the top. All the different things that you can do are actually listed up here on top. So if you want to start a totally new search, you can just go up to the top of the screen and start here. Indiana State Library, I'm not sure what you find when you go to that one, but if you actually have a publication, a specific publication that you want to read, you can go here and try to find that particular publication, which I just did last night, by the way. I was reading on my phone and there was an article about you can make $2,400 a day by watching true crime shows. Well, I do that a lot anyway, so the thought of getting paid for it is very attractive. But the article was in the Apple News and I don't have access to that, but it did say Business Insider. So I actually came here and searched for Business Insider and to find that particular publication. I don't think that article's been added yet because I couldn't find it. But, if you see something that is from a particular publication, you can actually go there and search for that. All right, and then WorldCat is used, yeah, more for interlibrary loan and things like that. If you find something that's not available. Preferences. You know, I played around with this, and this is really fascinating because you can actually set up things here. Oh my goodness, come back. You can actually set up things here that will, once you save them, it will help your searching and narrow down things for your searching. For example, you can just run smart text when the query returns no results. And then what smart text is you can put a whole paragraph in, if you want to, into the search bar and search that paragraph. You know, if it's a phrase, if it's just a word or a sentence, you can do that. So if you ever want to run smart text, that is where you change to that. There's also options as far as setting up your page layout right here. You know, if you don't want those filters on the side, or if you just want filters that you can filter down and you don't want the stuff on the other side, like with the images, and vice versa, and then main content only. And I changed mine to main content only. It doesn't look like it's coming up that way because I haven't signed in. So if I signed in, it would. So that's a way to, you know, make the page look a little bit less cluttered. You can also decide how many results per page. And once you set up all these preferences for you or for a patron or for a student, and you save them, then those are there until you go back and change them. So here you could put in an email if you want, or your patron wants to email something to themselves. It would come from Inspire and go straight to their email, and this is where you would put that in. Let's see. You can also export citations, and there are so many citation tools now, Noodlebib, no, whatever. Of course, there are a bunch and my mind goes blank. So, but you're probably aware. EasyBib, I see them right now. Here we go. I'll just get a list. Mark, you can do XML format. I don't know. You guys may know more about that part. I don't know what all that stuff is. Okay. So if you do set up those kind of preferences, you would do that here and hit save. Okay. Let's see. Ask a Librarian is actually powered by, what's it called? Like Lib. What's it called? Paula, do you know the company? My mind is.
I do not know the company, but it is the people from the Indiana State Library.
Yes.
So.
Yes, this is how you can contact them, and it's set up where if you put your question in, it will actually go to the people that need to answer it. I don't get a lot of questions through Ask a Librarian, but I do get a few, and the people that are in charge of checking it will forward those requests on to me, you know, or sometimes it's related to children's programming, you know, so they will forward it on to Beth. So it just depends, you know, what kind of information you need. But this is a great way to get information from us, maybe even when we're not working. It's there for us when we come in, because it looks like they only do that on, during the work hours. But the other thing is, let's see, I just saw it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you go to our website, you know, the library website, when you log on for the first time or access it, have you guys noticed the little window that pops up now? And it says, you know, how can we help you today? Or do you need assistance? I forget the exact wording, but you can either put your question in right there and it's live as long as it's during our open hours, or you can just put it in there and it will go to us and be there the next day. So that's what I mean as far as live chat. It wouldn't be available during the evening hours, but it is available during the day. All right, we're getting down to, we have about 15 minutes. Let's see, let's go back to databases. Does anybody have any questions or anything that you would like me to work through or show you?
I'm afraid I took over chat, but just adding little extra explanations to what you were showing. So
That's perfect. That's perfect. I'm glad you did that. Does
And
anybody? Okay, go ahead, Paula. I'm sorry.
I did get the search in People Magazine to change to Spanish. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if it was, I don't know why that one article didn't do that. Was it a PDF full text?
No, it won't work. It won't work on the PDF full text. It just does the HTML.
Just HTML. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm not exactly sure why that didn't work.
It did take a few. It took a minute or so just to translate it too. So I didn't notice that, but it does work.
Okay.
Some places.
Okay. So if it doesn't work, all I can say is we're sorry and try another one maybe. I don't know. Or call us or contact us and see if there's anything that we can do to help you. I will say, since we've got a little bit of time, I just want to show advanced search real quick. Advanced search is where you can do more things as far as your searching. Probably not for, the public library patron that just walks in and wants information, not unless you're going to help them actually go through the search. I just feel like this is almost more like librarian search and not like patron search. But if you are helping a patron and you want to use this, you can come in here and you can put in more than one term. So let's say Harry Potter. And that is going to be, do we want all text? Do we want it in the title, author? So I'll just say all text. And I'm going to put J.K. Rowling as the second search term. And here you can search another field, and it is optional. You don't have to do this, but I'll put all text too for this one. And then we'll hit search. And now the articles will actually show you articles that talk about Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling. Both of them combined. If you want to change that search and you want Harry Potter but not J.K. Rowling, you could go over here and say not J.K. Rowling and then hit search. As you can tell, some of these are, I don't feel like it's really limiting our search because we're still getting a big list back. So there are other ways that you would have to do the search to narrow it down. I'm not sure it's very helpful to most people, but I did want you to see it because you can limit your results here. You can look for scholarly journals. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about is the app. Did you guys know we have an EBSCO app? If you didn't know that, go to your app store, whichever one you use, type in EBSCO and it will come. You'll just get an app and you download that and you can search Inspire from anywhere and you can download ebooks from anywhere, read them on your phone. So there are a lot of options with that too, because, a lot of people, like personally, I don't have a laptop at home. I have my phone. This is a work laptop that I'm using right now. And a lot of people are like that. They don't have, a computer set up anymore because they can get everything pretty much they need on their phone. So if a person is searching at your library and they run out of time or whatever, you can let them know about the EBSCO app because they can download it and continue their research later. All right, I am going to stop sharing and I'm going to look at the chat real quick. I'm sure Paula has answered every question that you had. But if there are any other questions, feel free to put it in the chat.
I have to say, there's still things we discover and don't know. So it's
Yes,
something
all
we're
the
always
time.
learning.
Yes. And one of them, from my personal experience, I would just encourage you to spend a little time in Inspire. If you have, 15 minutes to half an hour, sit down and just explore and kind of get used to what's there. And doing that will make it much, much easier for you to help patrons, because I understand that is extremely overwhelming. And that's why we keep, doing trainings, because we want to make sure that everyone's aware of what we have. And I didn't actually get to show you all the databases except how you access them. We didn't really go into separate databases like Learning Express or Rosetta Stone. And those are things too that you can share with your patrons. And Rosetta Stone has made a lot of changes. So if you've looked at Rosetta Stone, maybe in the last year, or you haven't looked at it in the last year, you might want to go look at it because there are a lot of changes. Oh, and Lisa Jones, who does some of the training for us, sent us an email, and she was telling us about new things that are coming up. I think she said they're updating Consumer Health, Explora, and History Reference Center, maybe. I'd have to go back and look at my email, but like Paula said, they're changing things all the time. They're adding new things all the time. And one last thing before we leave and before we let you go is the other thing that they are doing. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're going to do their EBSCO Discovery service is going through a change. And I'm not exactly sure when we're going to make the change over to the new Discovery service, but it is so much cleaner. It is so much easier to use because I actually sent them an email and asked them to kind of preview it. And I love it. It's so much better than, or not better. It's not better. It's just, to me, it's easier because it has that cleaner look. We're all used to Google. We're not used to all those things on the side. The way EBSCO's set up right now, because I think it can be extremely confusing and extremely overwhelming. So if you ever feel that way, you're in good company. If your patrons feel that way, they're in good company. But there's so much available and so many good things. So I do want to encourage you to explore, just explore. Paula, can you take a screenshot of the names?
Oh.
So, because I didn't get a certificate ready.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was also going to say, I'd give a shout out to Learning Express. That's a great thing to explore too, since it is a separate sign-in.
Mm-hmm.
And people can save their progress on their tests that they take. There are cue cards. There are, what else? I can't remember what else. But the only way to save those is it actually has to have a separate sign-in from the EBSCO one.
Yeah, I should have shown that one probably, or I can do it another time and go into more depth because we're getting at the end right now. But if you think of any other questions after the webinar that Paula, didn't already cover, or something that comes to mind and you're like, oh, I forgot to ask that, you can email me or Paula and we will help you. We have kind of taken it on as our mission to make Inspire easier to understand and easier to use. We can't make huge changes. You know, we can't make behind the scene admin changes, but we will try to make more training, whatever we need to do to make it more user friendly. And like I said, I do think some changes are coming that will make it more user friendly. So I appreciate so much you guys coming today. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can go ahead and stop recording, Paul, Lisa. Thank you. And like I said, if you think